Hello, good evening. It's always a great pleasure to come your way with business on Business Live. We're still celebrating 25 years of joy with you. My name is Aboagye-Wiafe. Coming up this evening on the show, insurers begin feeling heat of COVID-19 as underwriting of life insurance policies declines by 50%. We'll be hearing from the regulator very shortly. Also coming up, International Chamber of Commerce laws Africa Union for deferring implementation of the Continental Free Trade Agreement, saying coronavirus pandemic will undermine free movement of people across boundaries. And also coming up tonight, we bring you the Joy Business Van. These are headlines we're working with tonight. Many thanks for your company. Taking a short break, we'll be back with the details. Many thanks for your company. Welcome back to the show. The National Insurance Commission, NIC, has revealed that new life insurance businesses have reduced by at least 50% as a result of the outbreak of the novel coronavirus. Even though the Commission had estimated that life insurance business by end of 2020 should double, the regulator fears this projection may not be met as a result of the global disruption. Speaking to Joy Business, Deputy Commissioner of Insurance Michael Andor says his outfit has requested insurance companies to submit strategic plans to ensure their businesses are not hard hit.
Every business has to roll out its business continuity plan and make sure that we minimize disruptions. There are and there will be, but minimize them and protect the lives of staff and customers and generally ensure safety. So we, at the very beginning, asked insurance companies to prepare and update or send to us their business continuity plans. We are monitoring to see whether they are working as required so that they can continue to service policyholders and potential policyholders as appropriate, be able to renew policies, to issue policies, to pay claims, to resolve complaints and let people, life goes on.
So let's look at life insurance. We know for the motor insurance or non-life insurance policies, there's still a way around it by way of ensuring that claims are paid, businesses are underwritten. What happens to life insurance, or what has happened to life insurance in this time?
We estimate that life insurance will be a little bit hit. This is because life insurance is usually sold by agents. And according to the 2018 figures, about 65% of life business is sold by agents, and that's face-to-face. And you know, insurance is sold, it is not bought. Okay, people don't get up and buy insurance. People have to go there and sell insurance to them. So when they have to keep social distance, when they have to minimize gathering crowds and things like that, you know, it's going to impede the ability of the agent to go out there and sell. So the general expectation is that the life business is going to be hit a little harder than the non-life business generally.
Still staying on coronavirus, its Chief Executive of Cocoa Board, Joseph Boahen-Edu, has urged cocoa farmers to strictly adhere to all safety protocols aimed at stopping the spread of COVID-19. Receiving 150,000 cedis worth of sanitary products from two cocoa processing firms, Barry Callebaut and Nyankopa. The Cocoa Board CEO further impressed on corporate Ghana to support cocoa farmers in these trying times. Charles Aite reports.
We've had corporate Ghana respond massively to the provision of cocoa farmers across the country. Today, we have seen the donation of 300 various buckets and various tissue papers and whatnot to cocoa farmers by Barry Callebaut, a cocoa manufacturing company. Let's first hear from the MD of the company, Charity Sakite.
Today, we are all faced with very challenging and difficult times. We are forced to change the way we we live, the way we work, the way we behave in many ways. And we also know that beyond the big cities, we have most of our cocoa farmers in the communities away from us. With the COVID situation, we know the preventive measures that we need to take. And one key measure is hand washing to prevent the spread of the disease.
As the cocoa season opens up for pruning across major cocoa farms in the country, Chief Executive of Cocoa Board, Joseph Boahen-Adu, also receiving the items, made a charge to cocoa farmers to observe the various safety protocols amid COVID-19.
Particularly for our farmers, we want to aid them to wash their hands, and when they are doing it, if they can get warm water, it's also important. Not just to wash your hands with soap, but also even wash the face with warm water. If they can do that for us, the face, the ears, around the ears, the neck, and so on and so forth.
Chief Executive of Cocoa Board makes it clear that despite the burden of COVID-19 on the Ghanaian economy, the cocoa sector remains buoyant in these troubling times. I'm Charles Aite for Joy Business.
Meanwhile, over 3,000 cocoa farmers in 47 communities in the Amansie West District of the Ashanti region have received supplies from the Cooperative Cocoa Farmers and Marketing Union. The union has given each farmer PPEs worth 25,000 cedis, in addition to some health facilities to cushion them in such difficult times. Mahmoud Mohamed Nuruddin has more in this report.
Farmers were also educated on the need to keep safe in order to produce well enough to feed the growing population. President of the union, Reverend Thomas Opong, points out the world risks food security threat if the pandemic takes a devastating toll on farmers. So if we don't take good care of ourselves and the virus attacks any one of us, it will be a big blow and it will affect our level of production. You know, if you are sick, how can you go to the farm or produce food when you are sick? And this will also affect the food security system in the country. Reverend Opong urges farmers to abide by the precautionary measures set out by health professionals. The advice I have for all farmers in the country is that the virus is very dangerous. We should try as much as possible to observe all health protocols to protect ourselves from being infected with the virus.
We will first of all have to thank Amansie Cooperative for coming out with this initiative and supporting the good cause of the government, because the president, as he has indicated, that this is a fight for everybody. So with the move that Amansie West Cooperative has also added into this call.
Now, thousands of workers in the restaurant and pub businesses have lost their jobs as a result of COVID-19. That's according to the National Hospitality Association of Ghana, which has majority of their members drawn from restaurants and eatery businesses. The hospitality industry has been described as one of the biggest casualties of the coronavirus pandemic, and some players are still counting their losses. Theodore Jeble is the Executive Secretary of the National Hospitality Association of Ghana.
It is that bad. There are no profit margins at all. And as long as the borders remain shut, it means you can't make profit. The business is truncated. People's investment, lifetime investment is at stake. And the sector employs over 700,000 Ghanaians. So imagine the numbers that will be jobless. school children whose school fees cannot be paid.
Just to butt in a little bit, you talk about 700,000, you talked about them doing a 10% capacity. So from your members, do you have any fair idea as in the number of persons that have been asked to go and stay home, or those who've been asked to step aside because of this challenge?
Well, we can't give you a block number.
Rough estimates here, in 10% wise, how many of the workforce have been asked to go home?
You are talking, if I should just, give you my, on the spur of the moment, I would say about 25 to 30%.
Of the 700,000?
So far, if not more. I'm not able to give you the actual figures because we haven't done any research to come with a specific number, but that's what...
But from your members, do you have a fair idea about the pool of persons that they employ in terms of those who are in the pub and the restaurant business?
Yes, like I said, we are talking about 300,000, 400,000 minus the hotels. Okay, but if you add that to the hotels, you are in the region of 700,000 people.
But if you just look at those in the restaurant and eatery business, you're looking at about 300,000, and about 20% of that have lost their job.
In fact, 20 is an understatement. To be honest with you, in fact, 20 is an understatement. But there are a lot more people who are out of jobs, who are just sitting at home doing that. Because where will you employ 50 people if you have no business, if you have no job? Nobody walks in to buy anything. Your staff go and sit down there, they play music, they incur bills, utility bills for nothing. Why should you continue to operate?
One would say that.
Now, the Secretary General of the International Chamber of Commerce, Emmanuel Doni-Kwame, says the African Union's decision to defer implementation of the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement, scheduled to commence on July 1, is a step in the right direction. The AU attributed the indefinite postponement to the coronavirus pandemic. Some experts believe the situation should serve as a catalyst to pursue the trade agenda. But speaking earlier with me on the marketplace, Mr. Doni-Kwame said the deadly pandemic will inhibit and smooth movement of people across boundaries, which is a major prerequisite for the smooth implementation of the trade deal.
We all know of the situation at hand, the public health crisis, and that's paramount, and it takes precedence over trade. So we all expected some delays in most projects, programs, especially meetings that involves people. Once you don't have a free movement of people across borders, definitely, it's definitely going to impact trade. The CFTA is already in motion. I have a position on that since we already have the regional blocks, and they've been doing the work from time immemorial. And AFCFTA has more or less fast-tracked the work of ECOWAS and the other various regional blocks. So the pandemic just brought things to the fore, and already, yes, we've set a deadline, but things are still being done. That doesn't mean the momentum will slow down. Just that meeting the deadline of 1st July will be a bit more difficult, because the focus of most governments now is to save lives. And then the next step may be to save livelihoods. Yeah, it's slowing down things because it's affecting the free movement of people, and you can't have trade without people moving around. And both the position of ICC together with the Secretariat, from what I gather from the information from the Secretary General, is that we should allow trade to flow. Okay. Despite the situation we find ourselves in. The regulations and things, yes, behind the scenes, still trade ministers will be meeting. In May, heads of states will also meet to set new dates. And then in the interim, they have to remove, we are even calling for removal of all tariffs on foods and essential medical supplies. We need to remove all these tariffs and then create new corridors for these to flow freely.
You're still watching Business Live on JoyNews, also streaming live on Facebook. Now, government yesterday rolled out the new port management systems countrywide, with the port of Tema experiencing it for the very first time. Reports, however, indicate that activities were chaotic as freight forwarders could not clear their goods. The Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders had earlier raised concerns about several challenges which they said will undermine smooth implementation of the new system. Executive member of the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders, Kweku Chidako, joins me now on phone for some update of the situation. Good evening, sir. Welcome to Business Live.
Good evening, my brother. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Now, so have you been able to clear goods today? Is the situation any different from what happened yesterday?
Well, my brother, let me say good evening to your listeners. Let me reiterate the fact that the situation is still the same. Since morning, we've been able to process any declaration. We've been able to pay any fee. We have not been able to also process any END. So it's still the same. The only change that has happened is that those who had earlier paid their duties and were in the process of clearing. As you know, yesterday the whole system was shut down. Even those who were in the process of clearing their goods out of the port also got stuck along the way. But God did so good this morning when we came. We have realized that that portion of the system is back to normalcy, even though it's on and off. But people are still, being able to clear their goods out of the port.
Right.
But for new declarations and for new transactions, that one I can say for a fact that we've been able to process even one since yesterday.
Can you confirm that the GRA has indicated that people or your members should still use the GCNet platform?
Pardon?
Can you confirm that the GRA has indicated that you can still use the GCNet platform until the smooth rollover is effected?
Yes. For today, no, we've not seen any community. In fact, we have a port community platform. That is where normally post of letters of business comes on. But as we speak, there is no official letter from GRA instructing GCNet to continue West operation until further notice. But what we are aware is that based on the directive issued by the Commission General on 27th, active GCNet and West Blue vis-a-vis Unipass to run parallel until the 31st, May is what we know. Apart from that, I'm not privy to any letter of that sort. Please.
All right. Many thanks. We'll wait here and also get back to you as and when the developments unfold. Kweku Chidako is executive member of the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders. We're live on Business Live. Welcome back. Now, Nandom Rural Bank in the Upper West region is the latest institution to donate to the WA Municipal Assembly to help in the fight against spread of COVID-19. General Manager of the bank, William Bukinta, says the COVID-19 pandemic should not be left in the hands of government alone, but should also be supported by corporate bodies and individuals. JoyNews' Rafiq Salam reports.
Items donated to the WA Municipal Assembly by the Nandom Rural Bank to fight COVID-19, the disease caused by the coronavirus, included 40 Veronica buckets and 40 gallons of liquid soap. They are valued at 6,000 Ghana cedis. General Manager of Nandom Rural Bank, William Bukinta, presented the items to the WA Municipal Chief Executive, Isaac Utairu Momin, on behalf of the bank.
This is just one of the signs of our efforts to assist the government through the WA Municipal Assembly to fight this pandemic. So Nandom Rural Bank has decided to show its widow's might by donating these PPEs in the form of the Veronica buckets.
On the Joy Business Van tonight, we put a spotlight on Nalo Solutions, which is providing the IT solutions businesses need in these critical times. If there's anything the COVID-19 pandemic has taught the country, it is to improve our IT infrastructure. That is same for businesses. We bring you the story of one of such company, Nalo Solutions Limited, providing just what businesses need in these times.
6 years in the business, 120 million annual transactions, 600 million SMSs delivered, and 20,000 plus happy customers. That is Nalo Solutions' record so far. Nalo Solutions was founded in 2011 by a group of friends who had interest in information technology development. It became operational in 2013. We've come to meet two of the co-founders, Francis Benjamin Okran and Joy Ivan Lanyo, who are providing IT solutions for businesses.
Being in the industry, we realized that there were a lot of things we could do that were not being done by others. So we were able to identify some places where we could fill services that we could bring on board that were not there at the time. So out of discussions over lunch and so on, then this idea came about that why don't we form a company so that we can do what we yearn to do, and that's how come we formed the company.
In 2011, Ghana ranked 99th in the World Information and Communication Technology rankings. The usage of IT was still far below international best practices, especially at the government level. It was a promising venture, but for the novices in entrepreneurship, it was a huge step from the comfort of their corporate jobs.
There were a lot of big guys out there who were really doing it, but because of our engineering background, we're able to provide solutions that people normally wouldn't be able to provide, because people were requesting for now personalized services that were personal to them, not like the general services. So our strength at that time was the fact that we're able to provide specialized services for people, and we were quite affordable too. So people use that.
Nalo Solutions' highly patronized service has been its bulk SMS solutions. It also provides online payment solutions as well as software and app development. These are essential services in an age where you can do virtually nothing without technology.
I can remember when we started the service, let me say bulk SMS service, a lot of people didn't know about it. And it took us a lot of effort to actually explain and convince people how it works, But once they got on board, they actually appreciated it. So for individual clients, I'll say it's quite a lot. It's quite high, yeah. Then in terms of, let me say, the financial institutions too, let me say we have a number of, like Joy said, the banks. Because of the support we give them and our customer experience, they are able to, hook onto us.
And you don't patch the service like, because if you send out you,
Nalo Solutions operations has been largely successful despite challenges with the IT infrastructure here in Ghana.
The thing is already expensive, then the reliability you can't trust, and therefore you need a backup. That's another cost, okay? So that's the main challenge with the internet service that we have here, the cost and the reliability. At least for now, first we're using, when we started operations, we were on a broadband, because it's shared, it was giving us problems. Then we had to go on a dedicated over the air and a microwave connection when the weather changes and so on. We have a lot of issues. And then we migrated to fiber. Setup cost was quite high, but we had to do fiber just to make sure that we are getting internet, because once there's no internet to the office, our operations are down. Everything is hosted on the cloud, just for the reliability of connectivity to other institutions that we operate with.
The IT firm's operations have also been boosted by the Business Linkage Program of Invest in Africa, a not-for-profit organization in Ghana which is helping boosting the capacity of small and medium enterprises.
Invest in Africa has been very instrumental. Honestly, they came in at a very strategic time. Like we said earlier, we started the business and we're inexperienced. We just started, we were just technically inclined. But in terms of running a business, we didn't know much about some of the modalities of running a business, getting a business plan, setting up and making sure that you have a strategy, looking at your books effectively and all that. And I think Invest in Africa came in promptly to help us.
As the country gradually develops its IT space, the co-founders are upbeat about the prospects for their business.
We are looking at bringing a new kind of business ventures. Yeah, and some of them will mean that we'll need some capital injection. So of course we'll need some funding, and we need to actually get some investors on board to also partner for us to achieve those targets. So that's something that we are seriously looking at as a strategy.
A new way to progress, a new way to advance, a new way to succeed.
And it's a wrap for Business Live. Many thanks for your attention. Get more business on myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Emmanuel Aboagye-Wiafe. Have a good evening.